Every AI coding video stops at the same moment. The feature works, the creator is impressed, and then the video ends. I used to end mine there too. Then my agent shipped a feature that looked done on the screen, and the automated review found 17 problems with it. 4 of them critical, the kind you find in production 2 weeks too late. Not one of them was visible while I was using the app. So this video covers the part nobody films, what happens between it works and the merge button. That in-between part is boring. It's also where the quality comes from, because most of my daily work is small to mid tasks, and what matters there is stability, week after week. At some point I asked Fable, Anthropic's newest model, to analyze my own usage patterns, and the result was mildly embarrassing. Before every merge I ran the same ritual by hand. Ask for a simplification pass, kick off my review fix review loop, and clean up the branch at the end. I had automated everything except the part I repeated most. So I extracted the ritual into a set of Claude Code skills. A plugin I call tgc-skills. One command takes a finished branch through polish, checks, and review. One command cleans up after the merge. Nothing in it is clever, it's the checklist I was already doing, packaged so I stop skipping steps. And that's the point. At work, stability is what you're judged on. A boring task done reliably beats a flashy one that ends in unhappy customers. Or God forbid, an outage. Here was an opportunity to buy more stability for the price of a command, so I grabbed it. The demo project is the Gray Cut, my own video editor for talking head footage, the one I built in the previous video. The feature drag a video file from Finder onto the timeline, my 5-second logo animation in this case, and it inserts between clips as an external clip all the way through the exports. The implementation looked done, so the plan was to run my ship skill manually and walk you through it. Fable had other ideas. It verified the last phase, decided everything was working, and loaded the ship skill on its own. I sat there watching my demo perform itself. The published version has agent invocation disabled for exactly this reason, so you won't get ambushed like I did. Here's what the skill actually runs. First, a pre-flight, right branch, clean status, nothing conflicting on main. Then the part I care most about. 3 reviews agents fan out in parallel, each reading the diff through a different lens. Correctness hunts for real bugs. Logic errors, edge cases, race conditions. Simplification looks for code that could be planar. Over-engineering hunts for abstractions nobody asked for. It grew out of my ponytail rule, the does this even need to exist pass. The agents only report findings. 3 agents editing the same files in parallel is how you get a mess, so the orchestrator applies the safe fixes sequentially. In this run, simplification came back with 6 findings and over-engineering with 4. The correctness lens took 10 minutes and 47 seconds. Thorough is the polite way to say slow. After applying the fixes and rechecking them against the repo's own tests, the skill pushed and opened the pull request. 11 commits, 29 files, about 1900 lines. One thing the skill will never do is merge. More on that later. The pull request is where the review loop takes over. 2 reviewers read it in parallel, a Claude agent and a Codex agent, and post a combined verdict under the reviewing account, the Great Cat. And done deserves an asterisk here. My own testing had already caught missing frame previews and a misplaced drop position. The agent fixed those within the session, except one layout bug that survived every attempt. Point is, human eyes found things before any reviewer saw the code. Round 1. Request changes. 4 critical findings and 10 minors. The best one? My drop filter accepted .mkv files, but Apple's AV Foundation can't open Matroska. So the insert saves into the project and every rebuild after it fails, including on reopen. One drag and drop and your project is bricked. Dead until you figure out that undo fixes it. Both reviewers caught that independently. Codex alone found that after reopening a project, undoing an insert deleted it permanently, the redo data simply wasn't saved. And the list kept going, the QA report counting words spoken inside an inserted clip as script dialogue, the waveform decoder running FFmpg with no timeouts, so one long clip could stall the whole app. None of these show up in a demo. They show up 2 weeks later as bug reports, and since the Greycat's entire user base is me, at least so far, the annoyed user would also be me. The loop spawned a fixer, applied the changes, and requested a fresh review. Round 2 came back approved with 6 minor nodes. The loop fixed those too. Round 3, 0 critical, 0 minor. 17 findings fixed across 3 rounds, and the first round was the harshest. In my experience, it usually is. The whole pipeline is a plugin you can install, link in the description. If you want the skills as they evolve, subscribe. I ship updates to them the same way I ship everything else. And the Discord is where to ask when a skill misbehaves, link below. Why 2 reviewers instead of 1? Because a reviewer is a probability machine. Run the same diff through the same model twice and you get slightly different lists. In round 1, both reviewers got the MKV trap and each found things the other missed. 2 models are cheap insurance and I already pay for the Codex subscription already. Same logic for looping. A fresh round rerolls the dice. Round 2 here surface 6 new minors and fixes can introduce bugs of their own. The loop gives up after 5 rounds, by then whatever is left is minor enough to live with. And a model note, GPT 5.6 Sol reviews are a different dimension entirely. It burned 13 minutes on this features plan review and still wasn't done. Slower, and it produces more findings. A trade I'll take for pre-merge checks. After the clean approval, the pipeline stops. Ship has one hard rule written right into the skill. It never merges. Not on a clean review and not on a green CI. I click the merge button myself every time. After watching the pipeline catch for critical bugs in a feature the agent was perfectly happy with, I treat the click as the cheapest quality gate I own. 10 seconds of a human deciding, yes, this goes in. Then comes the part everyone skips, cleanup. That's the second skill called merged. One command after the merge. It checks out main, pulls the latest, deletes the local and remote branches, prunes dead references and removes the work tree if there was one. Nothing glamorous, it's the digital equivalent of washing your pants after cooking. But it means every feature starts from a clean kitchen. This run also deleted the features planning artifacts. If you'd rather keep those, move them into something like a .nodes folder instead. Under Git or out of it, your call. I like having them around when a feature comes back to bite me later. I just hadn't set that up on this repo yet. One skill got cut from the pipeline, Caveman. It's a plugin that compresses the agent's output. Why use many tokens when few do trick? I tried it for review comments. What I got was shorter comments with the grammar surgically removed. It drops articles by design and it touches nothing code related. The findings were the same, they just read like a ransom note. I didn't want that tone in my PR history, so Caveman stayed out. Terse is fine. Broken English in my own PR reviews? I used to produce enough of that when I wrote reviews manually and don't want to see that anymore. So that's the takeaway. Put a verification step between the code works and the merge button, a simplification pass, an automated review, ideally a loop of them. Do it before you merged or at minimum before other humans see the code. Green tests tell you the feature works today. The review loop is what catches the MKV that breaks project 2 weeks from now. That's the stability move, and it costs one command. 2 caveats from experience. After the loop finishes fixing the things, open the app and check it still works. Review fixes are code changes like any other, and keep a little judgment of your own before accepting everything. The missing frame previews in my demo were caught by me clicking around, never by an agent, and one layout bug survived the whole pipeline. The loop raises your worst case quality. It doesn't replace your eyes. The plugin is public on GitHub, link in the description. The first half is the previous one where I built the Greycat itself. Parallel agents, work trees and whole CMAX setup. If you want to see how the app I just shipped a feature into gets developed in the first place, that video is on the screen now. TGC has her own review steps for the tuna cans. Some flavors are good, some are not, but with time she eats them regardless, if given no other choice.